Welcome back to another video, guys, and I'm still in the garage. Still looking dingy, but we got to make a ton of progress on this, so we're just going to keep moving forward. So finally taking a break from engine work. We are, it's been started, head bolts have been torqued. I'm actually working on something different for the turbo manifold, which you might have already seen depending on when these all come out. But I'm doing interior stuff now. Taking a little bit of change of pace from motor work back to a little bit of fab work. And I've actually been working on this morning a whole bunch. And basically, we have... So, I've been adding tabs for seatbelts, So this is an anti-submarine location. And then, so this is for the rear. That plate all the way across with two mounts there will be the inside seatbelt mounts. So those are bolted through the stock seatbelt locations, and I still need to trim it up, do a little prep, and I'm actually going to weld the plate in place with a backer plate, but I need to get the gas tank dropped and out of the way, and I wanted to keep it on the ground for now because I was also working on doing some cage gussets. So front section there, wanted to get that into the A-pillar. I got this basically integrated into the B-pillar. Same on that side, same on, the front there. And then I also have a seatbelt mount here. That's for the driver left. And then one of those dots is going to be for the seatbelt for the passenger side, or, well, into the tunnel side. That one is just going to get drilled through. Which, where did I put them? I made plates. So this will just be, basically anytime you either need like a big washer or you need something like this. So this is going to go on the inside of the tunnel. And then, this will sandwich the thin sheet metal. Harness will go on from the inside. And that plate will be like tack welded to the inside of the tunnel. That way you don't need two people you don't have to have a nut on the back side and somebody on the front side. So, that said, all of the harness stuff is done. That's kind of just tedious. Where do I want to put stuff? That stuff's done. I'm still working on fab stuff. So, next order of business is fire extinguishers. This is basically, I'm going 2 fire extinguishers because there's 4 people in the car. I want to make sure people in the front can reach one, people in the back can reach one. That way, in case anything bad happens, we have a better chance of anything. I really want to put like a fire suppression system in it, but I just don't have the time or the extra funds at the moment. So this was the original plan, 2 extinguishers, and then this comes as a kit, which I'm really surprised at how many, worm clamps come in here. But all of those in this bracket, and then I got a second one for the other. But these brackets are actually really nice because you can mount these. So in the other car, I actually have this mounted on the passenger side back here underneath the seat. And then so this is how these work. So this part of the bracket stays attached to the chassis. You pull the red button. It then releases this upper. So then this is actually mounted to the fire extinguisher with worm clamps. So I don't know if I'm going to use the worm clamps or I may I used T-clamps on my last one. But I'm going to figure out where I want to mount these. That's going to be the bigger question. Where do I want to mount these extinguishers? But I'm going to get them at least kind of clamped together so I know what room I have and go from there. 100% finished up. Like, I need to get shorter worm clamps for down here because I'm not dealing with those tails. And then the hardware on this one, thread pitch is right. It's not the correct bolt, and they're rusty as all hell. So they fit. They're here to mock it up. I'm not a huge fan of, they're a little rattly. So if I remember right, I think you can add something in between, you know, basically to tighten this up a little bit. So in there, and you can kind of get them to stop from wiggling. But that's it. Front passengers can reach the front one. Rear passengers can reach the rear one, because the, as you see from this side, the buttons, you know, so from the driver's side, I can reach my hand around and grab this. Passenger should be able to do the same. And then rear passengers should be able to reach over and, you know, lift and out. So that one is done and dusted. And I can knock that off the list, you know. Like I said, I don't love, like, the look. There was definitely a couple better, like, look, you know, visual places I wanted to put them. A little more uniform, you know. I thought about here, you know, one on each side would look, you know, neat. I thought about kind of under here, but you're going to have harnesses and all of that. And then anything kind of in this region, like here would work if, but it's going to get in the way of, you know, legs for the rear seats. So leg room in the rear is already an issue, but these will work. They're not, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. Well, I'm happy with how that turned out. We're definitely plugging along, you know, getting all the little stuff done, all the stuff that just takes, you know, a little bit of time, you know, hours, you know, type of deal. It would have been nice if I could have just bolted these right in somewhere, but they're in. They're secure. That rear tube one, you know, coming up is a little extreme, or, you know, overkill. I don't want to say extreme, but overkill. But I thought it looked right. I went through a couple versions in my head where I was like, oh, I just need a piece of flat stock. And I was like, well, that's going to look kind of stupid. And then I'm like, oh, I could just use square stock. And I was like, wait, why don't I just use round? Because for some reason, my brain just wasn't thinking last night when I was coming up with that. But we're all done with mounts. Seatbelt mounts were done, you know, earlier as well. I finished welding up everything underneath, in terms of, you know, I did a couple captured nuts. That way everything is doable from up top. Still waiting on parts for motor stuff. I did a test fit on a new manifold and it didn't go well. It does not fit, and it actually hits the EGR valve, which the eBay one didn't, but sending that back. I'm going to try another one. It's going to be a top mount, so I know it'll fit, but it wasn't the design I 100% wanted. But on that note, remember, like, comment, subscribe. Please comment. Please tell me, you know, anything that, you know, you want to see better, more of. You want longer videos or a bunch of these shorter videos. There's still a ton of work to do, and I'm just trying to knock this out because we have the season's here. You know, events have started. I'm definitely missing the first event, but Hyperfest is the goal to get everything done by. So please, you know, feel free. Comments, like, share to people. We're trying to make this grow. I'm trying to make this even better. Sponsors have been a huge help, but I want to make this as good as possible for 2024. So this is your captain out.